How's it going, everyone? Doc here with Eyes Wide Shot Gaming, and today we're going to take a gander at an interesting build that revolves around the Tear of Lydusa ring. Let's dive in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on all of your Remnant 2 news, info, builds, and breakdowns, as well as many other games. Before we start this build up, I would like to take a moment and thank everyone who has been supportive and inspiring to us and our channel as we have hit our mark of 1,000 subscribers. Our next goal is to see if we can hit 5,000 subscribers in our journey and keep spreading information we come across or learn in our adventures. Alright, let's check out our build. We start with our primary archetype, being Invoker. We get double the base skill charges for all archetypes with the prime perk Visionary. We use this in order to double up and constantly have our secondary skill ready to go during a fight to protect our teammates. The skill we equip with Invoker archetype is Way of Kayula. We will be able to invoke a tidal wave dealing 718 elemental damage and conjure a 30-meter rainstorm for close to 20 seconds. Our allies will gain haste in the rainstorm, while the enemies will get drenched, which reduces their movement speed by 10% every few seconds, as well as sends lightning strikes down onto enemies, dealing 1435 shock damage split amongst the drenched targets. Our secondary archetype is Medic. The damage perk grants a 25% increase to all damage and a 5% critical chance increase. We also want to put focus on the team perk Benevolence, which increases our relic efficacy by 15% and heals nearby allies for 30% of the total healing value, increasing to 60% for any ally below 35% max health. With this archetype, the skill we chose is Healing Shield. This allows us to quickly expel healing energy to shield all allies within 25 meters for 100% of their max health for 13 seconds. Meanwhile, the shielded allies regenerate 38% of their max health over this duration. Let's look at our trinkets, starting with the amulet. We are using Emergency Switch. With this amulet equipped, we receive a 50% reduced chance to consume a relic while we are below 50% health. This will go hand in hand with our rings to form into a very fun and supportive healing build. Our first ring is the Tear of Lydusa. With this ring, we increase our healing and lifesteal efficacy by 20%. Our healing efficacy bonus is reduced by 1.5% for each 10% of missing relic capacity. We don't have to worry much since we never run out of relics. Our second ring is the Restriction Cord. With it, we restrict ourselves from healing above 50% of our max health and reduce all incoming damage by 15%. We wear this ring so we can activate the effects of our amulet with much more ease. Our third ring is the Burden of the Divine. All the damage we deal is reduced by 15%, but self-healing applies 30% of benefit to allies, which works well with our first ring, Tear of Lydusa. So when we heal, the team heals, and we always heal. Finally, our last ring is the Conservation Seal. For every 10% of health missing at a max of 50%, we gain 10% chance to not consume a relic charge, and a 5% increase to relic efficacy on the next use. This gives us a 100% chance not to consume our relics while still healing ourselves and our teammates constantly. For our weapons, we start off on the secondary, which is the Rupture Cannon. We can replace this weapon with any other that has an open mod slot, because we want to have that mod Healing Shot equipped to add yet another layer of healing to our teammates and ourselves. The mutator we chose is Prophecy, which will increase mod power generation by 6% for 10 seconds, max stack of 5 every time we used a mod. The melee weapon we went with is the Krell Axe. Since we won't be using the melee frequently, we can opt to swap it with almost any other melee of our liking. Now, for the primary weapon, we went with the Monolith Long Gun. For its mod Sandstorm to deal the 285 elemental damage per second from the Sphere of Loam we launch, as well as exposing the targets, allowing them to receive 15% additional damage from all sources, like our Way of Kayula skill, and their teammates. Our mutator of choice is Spellweaver, which increases the weapon's mod damage and mod generation by 15% for 10 seconds when activating a skill, and at level 10, activating this weapon's mod reduces skill cooldowns by 1% for every 100 mod power spent. For our relic heart, we wanted to go with something that will either give us the most amount of healing when used or something that we can spam. We tested the blooming heart, and sadly the orbs don't stick around when we spam the relic heart, so we decided the enlarged heart is the best choice for its large healing amount at 196. With it, we chose consumable speed, health, and healing effectiveness. Over on the right hand side, you can see our traits, with the main focus being on Flashcaster, Regrowth, and Glutton. Now that we have the build, let's see how it's going to work for us and our teammates in the field. We launch our Sandstorm and Way of Kayula skill to open up around 1200 damage. At the same time, if we are to use our Relic Heart, we heal ourselves and our team rather quick while never running out of Relic Hearts. This is a support build intended to keep our two teammates alive through enemy engagements. I hope this build helps players through Apocalypse difficulty. And as always, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and until next time, so long.